Hi everybody, I'm Peggy Santa Maria. We'll be doing some, I call it chair yoga blend. I use the word blend because we kind of do anything we feel like doing, but don't tell my boss about that because she thinks it's chair yoga. But we're going to do some movements and to help work on breathing, to work on strength, to work on agility, arms, legs, the whole caboodle. We're not going to be getting on the floor. We're going to be standing, we're going to be sitting, okay? So some of you may have seen me do this or taken a similar class before, but I'm going to begin sitting down now, and you can too, and you don't need any kind of equipment. If you happen to have, and want to go grab them while I'm babbling, if you want to do anything for arm weight, of course, this is perfect, because probably you have canned vegetables. These are the last two on the shelf at Aldi when I was in there, because somebody else had taken all of the vegetables. But if you have them, cool. If you don't have them, that's fine too. That's fine too. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. I just wanted to mention it to you in case you want to do some of that. And most of that everybody kind of knows. You kind of do it and walk with them or whatever. Okay, we're going to start with what I consider to be the most basic and important thing in yoga, well, in any practice, well, any day, and that's breathing. So I think we've all figured out by now, breathing is probably pretty important. And if you didn't know that, remember, you heard it here first. But my shirt, I think, says breathe across the front. I think it does. You can't read it from where you are, so it doesn't matter what it says. But the breathing is so important. And for we who are older, and older and older, the breathing, we know that the lungs get a little weaker as we age. Maybe their capacity is not what it was. But there's a lot we can do about that. There's a lot we can change simply by the way we're using our bodies, the way we're sitting, standing, what we're doing. So we're going to do a little stuff to begin with. This will be the first part of, say, breathing approaches to breath. Now, I am a very, very firm subscriber to nasal breathing. I've been practicing yoga for 52 years, over 52. So I've just been doing this for so long, but it makes a lot of sense to me. The nasal breathing taps into or triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. There's the sympathetic, parasympathetic. Sympathetic is the one that flight or fight. You know, you're running away from, the dinosaurs that are chasing you. That, that old time, you've got to be able to preserve your life. The parasympathetic is the one that is soothing, calming, slows your heart rate. If you have high blood pressure, it will help with that, reduce the high blood pressure problem. It's the one that lets us fall asleep. It's the one that lets us be relaxed. So the nasal breathing will encourage that. The second thing besides nasal is I always talk about exhaling first. And there's a number of reasons why I say that, why I do it that way. One, when you exhale, you're getting stale air out. And by so doing, you're making some space in your lungs. But also, when you exhale, that's when the muscles relax. They're most relaxed at the bottom of the exhalation. When they're relaxed, they'll more easily expand to accommodate your lungs as they take in more and more oxygen. Oxygen is good. It's what feeds every cell in our bodies, from our little brains down to our little toes. So it's a good thing. So we'll be talking about some of that stuff. But let's just stay right with the breathing right now for a little bit, and then we'll go to the other body parts. So you're sitting there in your chair, and most people in a chair, even though this is a straight back chair, it's going to bring your shoulders forward. almost inevitably. Now, it's good if there's a back to lean into, but for the most part, what we'll find is that the position we are in sitting there is pretty close to the old C-shaped position, where our pelvis is tucked under. We have no lumbar curve. Our shoulders are rolled forward, just because chair seats slope backwards very slightly in this type, but still it's there. So you're more this way. It's a problem for our breathing. Additionally, anytime your shoulders are rolled forward, and most of us throughout life, everything we've done has brought us this way. From changing babies, to changing spark plugs, to chopping vegetables, working in an office, to everything is right here. We get shorter here, we get shorter here, we get too long back here. Not good. All right, you can feel it. We're just sitting here like this, and I'm going to say, try and take a deep breath, which is what people tell you if you're tense. Take a deep breath, but just try it. You're sitting here, try and breathe in. It's very hard to do. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One, anytime your elbows are in front of you, like in front of your rib cage, your shoulders are forward. Generally. And generally, when the shoulders are forward, the whole chest, all this bony mass sits right down here. Right down here. It's where your lungs are, it's where your diaphragm is, they can't work. So, one of my lines was always, do you know where your elbows are? If your elbows are out here, almost definitely you cannot take a deep breath because you've collapsed on yourself. So the first step, when you get your elbows back, it's like, oh my goodness. And you can maybe take a breath a little easier. Still got a problem now. You don't have a lumbar curve in your back, meaning your pelvis is tucked forward, meaning you're still real short here in the front. So this is what we're going to do. Easy, easy, easy. We're going to come forward, 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 forward. Don't fall off. If you fall off, everybody in your household will laugh at you because that's what we do. We can't help ourselves. Okay, so we're here, perched. And Verna, if you're out there, thank you for that phrase. It's perfect. So we're perching. And now that we're perching, we bring the elbows back. Now try to take a deep breath. It's much easier. You can bring in more oxygen. We're going to take it a step further. We're going to do that thing where we exhale first. So just close your eyes and just through the nose, just exhale. Why don't you put a hand on your belly? We'll feel what happens. Now inhale. You can feel so much more expansion. The belly expands and the rib cage. There's give in the rib cage and it's able to do that, to expand. Now we're not breathing into our stomachs, that doesn't happen, but what we're doing is letting the lungs really fill up, giant. This is good. So that exhalation first got stale air out of the way, and it allowed the muscles that were tightening on it like a corset to release, to relax. When they're too tight, they can't. They're going to hold you in. So that exhalation will relax them. The inhalation, giant, all right? And we're still not giant enough. What we're going to do next is bring our hands back here. We're going to do something weird, all right? We're going to leave just the heels on the floor and lift the front of the feet. You'll feel your pelvis shift position. What you just did was create a lumbar arch. Now, exhale. As you exhale, lift your chest toward the ceiling. Now inhale. And you can feel a huge opening. Exhaling. Go through 2 more breaths like that. Starting with the exhale, and then a big inhale. Now relax the arms. Bring your hands forward. Turn your palms up and drop your hands at the top of your lap. If you reach back, you'll probably find that you've got that nice little neutral lumbar curve in place, which means your pelvis is in a neutral position. It's not going to tuck under because you've got it in a place that it can't. You're on your sit bones, those knobby bones on the bottom of your bottom, so to speak. Is that all right to say? But anyway, it gets your pelvis in a neutral alignment so your back is able to be straight. So this is a good thing for the breathing. That easy, easy exhalation, and then, and when you do it with your hand on your belly, you can really feel that sense. Now, there's breathing that we can do that helps with the exhalation, learning to control that. And among that is alternate nostril breathing, the like doing a chant breath, a hum. You can do it humming anything you want, actually. I like to do the om breathing because it also clears your sinuses. It just kind of vibrates your sinuses, and so after you do it for a while, people are going sniff, sniff. So let's just for one moment just do an om thing and just see if you can see how long you can use that breath. So let's do it. We'll start with, and if there are people around, you don't have to do it. If it makes you feel too ridiculous, I encourage you to do it. Draw attention to yourself. Okay, here we go. Exhale through the nose. And take in a giant breath. Here we go. Om. And you may find your some post-nasal drip and start sort of clearing your throat or coughing a little bit. But it vibrates the sinuses, but you were able to push that breath out for a long time. Meaning you had lots of breath in there, but when you push it out through your throat and your nasal passages and stuff, it slows it down. You don't have to sit around and om all day. That was just an example. We will come back to some other breathing options that you can use to help strengthen your lungs. What we're going into right now is going to be sort of a overall loosening up, and we're going to stand up to do this part. So here's another standing up thing. Particularly, so many chairs and couches are just super deep, and when you're a short-legged person like I am, you're kind of stuck in there like an insect on its back, and you're trying to get out of there. So, but what you want to do is try and get your derriere far enough forward that you're not throwing yourself forward to try and get out of the chair, this kind of thing, and you're with your head down. Particularly older people, there might be a dizziness that occurs. So what you want to do is, did that thing lifting our toes? Well, when you do that, what you do is you shift your thigh bones backward into the hip joint. This allows you now to use your heels and these huge, strong thigh muscles. Powerful, powerful. So, sort of lift the toes first, bring yourself forward, chest forward, face forward. If your face is forward, your body will follow it. And you use these muscles rather than trying to get up like this and pulling your back. First thing, when we're on our feet, hip flexors, because they've been bent. They're going to pull our backs out of alignment. So here we go. Exhale as you bring the knees forward. Don't fling your head back. And then inhale, back up. Exhale. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale back. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Now step from leg to leg. You've got your dancing legs on. Now this is when you want to go put on, I don't know, the Everly Brothers or something. We got little singers. Oh, sorry. But if you just have to dance because your legs are just feeling so good and loose. Anytime during the day, this is the one, throughout the day, anytime you've been sitting, whether you've been in a car, sitting on a chair, sitting on a couch, stretch. But the same goes for whether you're a couch potato or an athlete. These are going to be tight. And just throughout the day, constantly, that will really help with that feeling of tightness. Okay, so we've loosened up the front of the legs a little bit. We're going to stay with this way. I was leaving you here. We're going to work with the backs of the legs a tiny bit. This is pretty easy to do stuff. So let's get near our chairs to move my hand weights. And we're going to just put a foot right up here, just on the chair. Now, if that's problematic for you, then don't worry about it. Don't do it. We'll do it seated also. Now, what we want to do is think about turning the toes backward a bit. With this leg resting here, and if you need to, hang on to the back of your chair. That's why we have them. What makes this good is this leg is working on its own. So it's really strengthening, it's doing double duty. You can feel those thigh muscles, or leg muscles all the way down. You can feel your ankles, your feet. So we've got this back. Now, what we want to do is, with this back, we want to kind of come out of the hip joint just a little bit. Keep your face looking forward, and your chest, just a bit. And you'll feel it all down the back of the leg. Don't block your knees back, soften them up. Now, what you can do to make it deeper is you can think about pushing your tailbone backward. And you'll feel like a wahoo and get really deep in there. We're just going to let it relax. But because it's supported, it's able to be more relaxed and lengthened more easily. Okay, so we're doing that. Now I'm going to put it down. See how that feels. Once again, more dancing legs. We'll do the other side, same way. So we get it up there. Toes come back a little bit. Bring those shoulders back too while we're at it. Come out of here, come here, out of here. Long, long, long. Face, chest, forward. Don't drop the head down. We're going to keep a flat back. Push that backward, backward, backward. And you can rest your hand. Don't do it on the knee because you might, knees don't go that way. They don't want to anyway. Keep it easy, not locked, so that this can be lengthening but not working a lot. Hold it, hold it, hold it for a bit, and you can release it. Bring it back, put it down. See what you're feeling. Very, very limber. So that's a good thing, because that's what we want to work on, loosening those up. Then we can do any type, and you can do this throughout the day, any type of, leg movement, bringing them up and down, whatever is giving you a little sense of movement, that's super duper stuff to do. So I'm going to, and you probably are familiar with doing that kind of thing, walking in place or something. But we want to be focusing right now, I'm going to take our time with this, sort of lengthening the body, lengthening everything that needs to be opened up. We do a little series very regularly in class where we use the back of the chair because that's what we have, right? And we're going to go backward, 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 and then we're going to let the head drop down between the arms. Our goal is that we get a nice flat spine and that we're able to lengthen the spine and take the pressure off the discs, all right? So, when you're down here, think about pushing your tailbone backwards. And let's do it with some breathing. On the exhale, push backwards. Inhale. You can feel that wonderful lengthening. Do it again with the exhale and then the big inhale. Okay. Now, we're going to start bringing the head up, start walking in, walk in, walk in. Now we're going to go up on our toes, elbows downward. Use your arms, push into the back of the chair. Use your arm strength to lift. Bring that chest up, pushing into the chair. And drop the heels, and let's repeat it. We go back, 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 back. Drop the head. Push back through that tailbone on an exhale. Breathing. Okay, face up. Walk in. Elbows down. Up on toes. Exhale, chest up. Breathe. You can feel the work going on in your legs, in your ankles, in your feet. Arms are working. Drop it back down. You can do however many of those you would like to do. They're easy, they're simple, and that sequence, thanks to my little town friend Donna, who does that at home. Donna, I shouldn't tell you her age, but I will. She's almost 81. But when she's at home, she refuses to sit for any more than about 20 minutes at a time. And she'll get up and start doing different movements and walking around the house to keep herself in good shape. But that little sequence is very nice because you can feel it all up and down your back. It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Another one that is very good to do, the yoga pose, that's the reverse warrior. And I love it because it does so many opening things, so many parts of the body. And with the reverse warrior, we're going to start like we're going to do a regular warrior one. So we're back and forward. And then as we bend that front knee, keep your hand on the chair if you need to. And if you don't, cool, that's fine. We're going to drop one hand backward. We're getting this nice lengthening all down the front. We're going to sweep up, up, up. Now, if you feel like you're going to fall on your face, please reach down, grab that chair, and breathe. But you can feel how much opening you're doing. It's wonderful. Drop it back down. Straighten that front knee. Push off with the back knee. Use your arms. And down we go. Other side, we'll do the same thing. So we got the front one bent, back one is straight. Hand drops to the back of the leg, and this one sweeps upward. Breathing. Don't hold your breath. Just feel open and powerful. Bring it back down. Let's lift up and down. So those are some of the things that we can do. Those are great for leg strengthening. Another one that we're going to do right now is a balance thing. This is very, very simple. And this you can do, once again, throughout the day. I mean, we think of balance as something that's a challenge of being on one leg and I'm going to fall over. And I usually do, and then it's a domino effect all around the class. We each fall into each other, and it's a good time. But great leg strengthening balance stuff can be done very simply using 2 feet. And the alignment of the body is going to have an effect on this. Now I'm going to suggest, and we'll get into this again a little bit, to bring the arms forward, roll the whole arm so palms are forward and shoulders are back. Now you'll feel your weight. You can probably wiggle your toes right now is my guess. Because we just shifted the weight. We're not forward on our toes, which puts us out of balance. We're using the heels more, which brings these into play, okay? So let's just start that way. You don't have to stay that way because you might want to grab onto your chair. But just to get you aligned, us aligned. Bring your feet together so they're touching each other and let go of your chair. And you'll find that you, for a moment, feel kind of disoriented. We don't stand like this. This is a much narrower base of operation for us. But you could feel your legs are responding to that. They're working. They're working very hard. So, I mean, this is something you could do when you're waiting in line for something. My daughter in California told me, I guess it was Friday afternoon, that she waited in line at the grocery store for 2 hours. So can you imagine if you were doing this for 2 hours, you would have legs like iron. Of course, you probably wouldn't be able to walk, but, okay, so relax. See, you can feel that those muscles were very active during that time. That's the first one. Am I still there? All right, the next one is easier. I mean, it's a little harder, but it's still an easy one, where we're going to have, we have the feet together, now one is coming about half a step ahead of the other. And you take a moment, because once again, we're not used to that. That's a strange stance. Well, for most of us, I don't know. Hands forward to get your body aligned. And what we want to do, and I'm kind of keeping track of this, is we want to hold this for 10 to 20 counts. Because if you can do this, then you're in pretty good shape. And then release it. We're going to do the other one, forward. And it takes a moment, because your body's saying, wait a minute, this is not what I usually do. It's not used to it. So what it's doing is really strengthening muscles, but you can feel that work going on. Okay, so we got that one down. Release it. Now the next one is the one, and I will be the first one. I'll be grabbing my chair with both hands, particularly because I'm being filmed, see. If I think nobody will notice, I kind of hold on a little bit, but you'll notice. All right, so what this one is, it's going to be heel to toe. And as soon as you get in it, you'll feel, exactly, you feel wah, 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 you know, because it's like walking a tightrope. At least we have light in this room. When you're in the other studio, it's a little darker and it's like wah. So you just have to get used to it. I think it's at least 20 there. Now we'll try the other one, but you can feel, I mean, it's huge work. Get it aligned, give yourself a moment. $18, $19, $20. There we go. Perfect. You can feel that. You worked hard. I was sure I wasn't going to start dancing off to the side. I've done that in classes and have a lot of people follow me, and I'm like, no, that really, well, go ahead. That wasn't really it, but what the heck. Practicing things like that is so good for getting the strength in the leg muscles, but also reflex. That's one of the things, and one of the reasons it's not a bad idea to practice doing some kind of a, 1-foot stand. I mean, do it in the kitchen, where there's the sink you can grab right a hold of or whatever. If you start to go down, you're there getting ready to do dishes and say, well, I'm going to do this for just a moment. And do it. If you go down, breathe. But one of the good things about trying to balance as we get older is learning to respond to the act of falling. I think that's as important as anything, that we develop that reflex to help us not go down. We already know falls are a big reason why many older people get injured. So if we get used to it, we can develop that impulse to help us. Now, there's sometimes you step on ice and off you go, and there's nothing to be done for that, except make sure you've got your cell phone in your pocket. Call someone to come and get you and take you home. Okay, we're going to sit back down for a minute, do a couple of other fun things, then we'll stand back up. And I'm trying to watch time. I'm good? Okay. Let's come back into a seated position. We're going to do another leg thing while we're sitting here. Well, we're going to do a couple of leg things. But one of them, we're just going to lengthen the backs of the legs. And we're going to do that by lifting the leg up. Once again, this is where that little lifting the toes thing comes in handy. Get yourself to the front again, don't pull off, but come to the front. You can feel this right up here in your hip joint. When you lift the toes, you can feel that hip joint shift. And what that will do, we'll put the toes back down like you're sitting just like you were, and just think about lifting that leg up. And you see there's a little stiffness, it kind of stops right there. Not stiffness, but it's like that's where it wants to go. So now we'll do it the other way, all right? We're gonna bring the toes up like that. Now lift that leg up. And it will come higher and it's easier to, you can just grasp it here. This is good arm work. Let the bottom of the leg relax. Relax. The leg is heavy. Get those shoulders up, back and down. And let this just kind of be here. We're going to move it around. We're loosening up the hip joint, wiggling it up. And take it the other way. It's nice, it's nice. Okay. Now we're going to extend it. Now, the leg is very heavy. And in classroom, we often use yoga straps. At home, you could use a bathrobe tie if you have one, or a towel or something to put around your foot that is going to secure it. This is not a strength building thing. This is a lengthening thing for the back muscles. Use your arms. What you want to try and do is sit upright and support this with all your strength. Then you can push through the heel, turning the toe back, and you're going, holy smoke. Please keep breathing. Release, relax, bring it down, put it on the floor, and let go. See how it feels. You've got that hip joint loosened up, oiled up, so to speak, synovial fluids. And let's move to the other leg, same thing. So let's just do it first, right off the bat. Up, bring it up. It'll come up higher, easier. Support it. Okay, here we go. Move it around. Work those arms. Work that chest. Work that upper back. Any way you want to, whatever works, side to side, circles, anything. Okay? Now we're going to straighten it out. Support it. Hold on, hang on, but try and keep the elbows back as much as you can. That way, you can feel the core muscles, the belly muscles, the upper back muscles. You can feel them working like crazy. When we let the shoulders come forward, we're pulling against that lower back. That's not healthy. Well, it's not a happy thing. It can make a lot of discomfort. So get the shoulders back a bit. Toes, okay, enough of that. Bring it on down. Wah, 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 wah. Something else we can't forget to do is ankles, okay? So sit on the edge, bring a foot, not so far, you know that. All right, now we're going to go circle, 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 reverse, reverse, reverse. Now write your name. It can be cursive or printing. And bring it down. Now when we get to the left foot, that's usually the dumb foot. But nobody can see your writing. And we circle, 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 and around, and around, and around. Now here we go, write your name. Okay, bring it back in. Going to the first one. This is a brain teaser. Write your name backward, like a mirror image of it. And bring it in, try it on the other foot. Easy, was it? So when you do that, you've got to really be thinking and making those neural connections to your limbs, and the limbs don't always want to hear about it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a little twisting thing. Okay, we talked about needing to keep these muscles able to expand, strong but not tightened down on us. Okay, so we're going to do a little twist. so you can feel it. And you can sit back a little bit for this. If you have problems, if you happen to have like disc problems, herniated discs or whatever in your lumbar area, I'm going to suggest that you please just do the upper part of your back at this point. Your doctor may have told you you shouldn't do any kind of deep twisting because that just kind of grinds those little discs. But if you know that you're basically okay through there, we can do it. We'll start with doing the twisting through the pelvis, which will take the whole spine and let it get that movement. All right, so what we're going to do is reach back with one hand. All right, now turn your pelvis. Now you can think about moving a leg to make it happen. All right, then we'll reach across. And on an exhale, gently begin that movement. Your pelvis and then up a little further and up. Take it gently the first time and you're breathing. But notice what you're looking at, what your nose pointing to while you're sitting here. We're going to release and inhale gently back to center. You can sort of feel that you just sort of loosen things up a little bit. We're going to take it again, same direction. This time notice maybe you're just a little further. So let's reach back. We got that. We're going to start here, turning down here. Reach across, exhale. You can feel that. When you inhale, when you're on the inhale part, see where you feel the tightness is. Do you feel it behind your shoulder? Because you're opening up that scapula. That subscapularis area can get pretty darn tight. Okay, let's release and then inhale back to center. Once again, we can keep doing it, but we're not going to. So let's do the other side. Same deal. Now, if you had any discomfort, please just keep it at your upper body. Don't let it go down your spine. So let's do it. We've got the pelvis kind of turning. And take it on up on the exhale. Now when you inhale, notice where your muscles are saying, oh, I'm kind of tight here across the belly, or oh, I'm rather tight here in the upper back. And let's release. Inhale, back to center. Oh, you're just getting so loose. Go back, reach across, exhale. And we're breathing. And let's let go. Inhale slowly back to center. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Loosening up, loosening up. We're going to do a little thing for the back now, and we'll do that standing up in a little bit. Never mind, never mind. But that loosening up side to side. Something that'll help loosen up here is we're going to do a little elbow rotation. I don't think we did this one yet. But let's bring the fingertips up to the shoulder. This is very easy to do or it's easier to do for people who may have rotator cuff problems, is to bring it up first here and then let the elbow lift the rest of it. And we're just going to make some circles, maybe 1, 2, 3. And again, reverse it. 1, 2, 3. Fingers out, bring it in, flop it down. Now you may already feel, if you close your eyes, that shoulder feels just a little lower than the other one. And if you go poke, 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 you may find this one's, excuse me, not quite as tight as that one. Excuse me. Here we go, fingertips. Then we'll go up. Once again, if you have arthritis in a shoulder or something like that, sometimes it's more comfortable that you just move it gently and small in front of you. But do whichever of those movements feels comfortable for you. It's all affecting the stuff. It's loosening all these tight muscles. Out, down, and drop. A little looser, a little looser. One more thing we're going to do. Here we go. Out, up, 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 and let it just drift upward. Exhale. Let the weight of that arm just flop there. And when we exhale and then bring in a huge giant inhale, you can feel that whole side open. It's just a good feeling. Yeah. Palm up, inhale, push back. Drop it down. Oh, nice. So one side is taller than the other. We have to fix that. So here we go. Fingertips, elbow, 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 elbow. Up it goes, over, breathe. Oh, you can just feel it opening up. Palm forward, upward, up, whatever. Right, round, and down, and all very good.
Had a request for kitty paws. Kitty paws? Kitty paws?
Kitty paws?
We had a request for.
Yes, you want to do kitty paws, you said?
Somebody over there does.
Somebody asked for kitty paws. Hi, whoever you are. Yes, I was thinking about that driving over here today to do kitty paws. Okay, kitty paws, they're right here. And I thank Bonnie Reams for the name kitty paws. It's tapping. Tapping done with the fingertips, and it's one of the more soothing things. You can, wherever you're feeling tightness or tension, and there's a whole series we can do with kitty paws. It helps also loosen up tight muscles. If someone does it for you, it's much nicer. And then you can just sort of slowly kind of melt off your chair, slide down, get a pillow, and just not move. But it's very nice, it's very soothing. You can do it on your head. You're tense, tense, tense. Kitty paws, kitty paws, kitty paws. And then when you stop, it's like, yes, yes. It's just very nice. So kitty paws followed by breathing it'll just sort of put you out of commission for a while. And that's okay. You know, you just find a place to sort of stretch out and let it be done. But I want to go through alternate nostril breathing. Now this does require touching your face. So if you haven't washed your hands recently or whatever, you don't want to do it, okay? But I'll just show what it is and a reminder for those who haven't done it for a while. And it has to do with the thumb and the pinky, and it's alternating. First, we're going to like exhale out of the pinky side, and then inhale, and then pinky will come in to close off that, and thumb will exhale and inhale. And we're going to go back and forth. I like to rest my 3 useless fingers right on sort of the brow ridge. It kind of really gives a more soothing feeling. So we'll just do like 3 of these, you know, meaning both sides, and stop, because we're running out of time here, I think. Okay, close thumb. Okay, exhale pinky. Inhale pinky. Close. Exhale thumb. Inhale thumb. Close. Exhale pinky. Inhale pinky. Close. Exhale thumb. Inhale thumb. Exhale pinky. And drop it down. And now when you finish that and you try and open your eyes, this is when everybody looks like they need a designated driver to get them home, because it's so very soothing. Well, I've got about 500 more things that I wanted to do, but I've gone right on out of time. So maybe we can get back together another time during this time period. But thank you, anybody who tuned in to see this. Stay well, stay safe, stretch your hip flexors. Those are the important things, and breathe. Namaste, my friends. Take good care.